First and foremost, we give all praises and glory to
Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Josh.
Double honors to the apostles of GMS, Ruel, and shalom to the faithful men that's always continually doing the work of the Lord. All right, Jimmy's Columbus, Ohio, once again, for our Sunday live. You know what I'm saying? We hear prophesied a downfall by enemies, chiefly Esau, Edom, so-called white men, and the rest of the nations, and 2/3, because they are enemies too, of Israel. All right, and the coming of our Lord, Yahushua HaMashiach. All right, and so yeah, Lord willing, we're gonna go in the spirit, and we're just gonna speak about, pretty much enduring, enduring until the end. And if you fall off at any moment, then you wasn't meant to be in. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord gonna destroy you. And you're gonna have a worse punishment than the people, that didn't know. You know what I'm saying? So we can go ahead and start with that. Luke.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 23, starting at verse 31. It says, "For if they do these things in a green tree, what shall be done in the dry?"
Right, so if they do these things in the green tree, you got a lot of people falling off and deserting. What's that shit called in the army? Deserting, right? Yeah, deserting and posts and shit. You know what I'm saying? If they do it in the green while everything is so-called cool, you still can go to the store, you still can, you got a job, whatever, you can do what you want pretty much. So how much more in the wither when the shit really hits the fan? And there's not gonna be prophets out in the highways and byways, because right now, you're on YouTube, this shit is free. And people walking past, this shit is absolutely free. Matter of fact, can we real quick, can you read that Revelation where it says, was it 6, where it says, hurt not the oil and the wine? I believe it's chapter 6. And it goes to the black horse. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, one of those horses, yeah. So yeah, man, so hey, you still got that? Can you read that again, Bob Show?
Luke 23, verse 31. "For if they do these things in a green tree, what shall be done in the dry?"
Right, so if you can't even endure while everything is cool, how much more when the shit hit the fan? A lot of these people gonna take the micro see it. All right, even the ones that so-called believe that they know that the Hebrew Israelite, they gonna take it too. Even in GMS, there's gonna be still a few brothers, so-called brothers, that's gonna take that. That's why you gotta pray to the Lord, man. Lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. And the biggest temptation is that chip. Yeah,
It's Revelation 6:6. It says, "And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. And see thou hurt not the wine and hurt not the oil and the wine." Right.
So first, your penny for the bread, because it's gonna be hyperinflation. A lot of food and different gas, toilet paper. They're gonna be hell of expensive. And then when that time comes, it's gonna be a famine in the word. Also, not only the famine of the food, it's gonna be a famine in the word. So it says, "Hurt not the oil and the wine," right? What's going into this truth? You know what I'm saying? Because while all this is going on and it's going to be a famine in the word, it's still going to have a few amount of men that's actually going to still have the word. And we're going to be, teaching amongst ourselves. Because even during that time of the Rona situation, you about to say that too?
I was about to say something. Yeah. I was just meditating on why everybody was buying up toilet paper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just dumb. They're not ready for what's coming. A few men has this truth. You gotta hold on to that shit. You know what I mean?
I remember during the Rona, while everybody else was bugging out, people was busting in people's homes just to take toilet paper. The dude, he made a video. He's like, man, he didn't take no food. He just took toilet paper. And everybody else was tripping. And what was the prophets doing? We couldn't teach on the street because it was illegal. You can't be too close. So we had to do a lot of park videos. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. That's just a prelude for what's about to come. But that was it, right? Yeah, Proverbs next. Haven't found that yet.
Proverbs 24, verses 10. It says, "If thou faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small."
Right, just that simple, man. And this ain't for everybody. You're gonna have a lot of people that's gonna come in, and they ain't gonna be able to take that heat. And if you're gonna fall, you're gonna fail in the day of. Can you read that again? I messed it up.
Yeah. Proverbs 24:10. "If thou faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small."
Right. So if you faint in the day of adversity, your strength is small. So they couldn't hang. They couldn't take the heat. We could get that parable he was quoted earlier, the sower and seed. You know what I'm saying? Because hey, trials and tribulation is gonna come. And Jake life sucks already. But this shit only gonna get even more worse. It's gonna get even worse. It's gonna wax worse and worse. What you gonna do when there's really no food? Jake gotta really think about that, man. You gonna believe the Lord? You know what I'm saying? When all this shit shut down and it's illegal to even believe in the Lord, you know what I'm saying? And if you ain't take that micro C hip, it's gonna be death. Are you gonna be able to stand firm? You know what I'm saying?
In the midst of that adversity is when your faith is going to be tested. All right, and at the end of the day, no matter where you go, what you do, adversity is going to find you. All right, even just waking up is hell in itself. You know, so when you dealing, man, understand, like even in the midst of the brotherhood, there's going to be things that get rocky, things that get like, damn, this is kind of hard to deal with. But that's the part of the battle. You got to push, just like the elder said today, and in the dojo. You know, the true test is when you tired.
Fight starts when you're tired.
Damn, yeah. All right. I got Sirach, the second chapter.
Yeah, bro.
This is Mark 4, and I'm going to start at 14. It reads, or let me start at 13. And he said unto them, know ye not this parable? And how then will ye know all parables? It says, the sower soweth the word, and these are they by the wayside where the word is sown. But when they have heard, Satan cometh immediately and taketh away the words that was sown in their hearts.
You see that example a lot too. Even like somebody come up to the camp. They might have their woman with them or something. They try to listen and they actually taking heed to it. You know what I'm saying? Then something distracts them, the woman or somebody else. Somebody calls them, or let me go take care of this verse. You know, there's no root to it. You know what I'm saying? So they can only endure for a moment. But you got it.
It reads verse 16. And these are they likewise which are sown on stony ground, who when they have heard the word immediately receive it with gladness. And have no root in themselves. Yeah, that's the spirit. Because, you know, we were speaking through the spirit about, you know, something concerning the camp, you know, here. And, you know, Jake was in the spirit like, hey, Jake sold on stony ground. Hey, man, we're coming into a time where if you're not rooted in this ministry, grounded, because you know, the thing with this right here is rooted. So it's stable, it's stabilized. It's not moving, it's firm. It's unmovable, you know. If you're not rooted and grounded in this truth, bro, you're gonna wither away, you know. But continuing on, it says, and have no root in themselves, and so endure but for a time. Afterward, when affliction or persecution arises for the word's sake, immediately they are offended.
See, so that said a lot. So first, we go back. What did it say? He said they had no root in them. And they receive the word with joy. You got a lot of people, oh, I'm an Israelite. I'm tell your mama, tell your sister, tell your wife. You telling every goddamn body. But now, you know, the tribulation shit getting a little harder. Now it's like, damn. Now you starting to second guess it, you know, and because really you had no root. You gotta be grounded in faith, as the scripture says. I don't know if somebody can find that real quick. I know it's in the New Testament. It says be grounded. Something. Just type in grounded. It probably pop up. But can you read that last part again?
It says, and have no root in themselves, and so endure but for a time. Afterward, when affliction or persecution arises for the word's sake, immediately they are offended.
Right, they're offended. What did the Lord say? He said, blessed is he that is not offended in me. But it's a lot of hard things, and just in the scriptures, just the words. You know what I'm saying? It can be like, damn, you know, because like the so-called grape doctrine. You know, we live in this society now. That could be like, oh, well, damn, you know, or whatever. And then you get trial, tribulation. You got the Esau coming at you. They saying, oh, that we are so-called prophets of doom. You know what I'm saying? They fucking hate us, man. They hate our guts. And you gotta really notice that, man. You got people, you got the elites right now conjuring up a plan. Oh, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, just to trap us up. You know what I'm saying? Are you ready for that? Lord willing, you gotta be.
That's the spirit. I sent Jake that video. Little compilation, little reel. Said when they find out the group chat.
Oh Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
everybody was getting arrested in different ways. Hey, but it's real, man. Jake don't understand that we, like the elder bro, maybe we come to the time where these motherfucking Edomites are not playing, bro. And what's so ironic about it is he don't give a fuck about you 2/3 niggas either.
Right.
He gonna fuck y'all up too. So it's like shit, man. I'm gonna get fucked up regardless. I mean, I might as well just take my blows for y'all about showing how it's all. In the hopes for something better, in the hopes for deliverance. You know? It's like shit. It's like nigga gonna come out anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Real quick too, I was thinking too. I remember years ago, this nigga came up to the camp. I remember his name and everything, James. He came up to the camp. I remember he tried to act like he listening at first, and then he came back the second time, and I believe he at first I think he just disappeared. Then I think he came back, and then I remember he was asking like, "What's up?" And he said, "Man, ever since I taught in that name, Yahweh Shai, I've been getting persecuted. You know what I'm saying? You know, so I'm gonna pretty much go back to Jesus." You know, but the Lord, right? The Lord already told you if you gonna come to me, you gonna fucking suffer. You might die horribly. We die every day. Woo. You know what I'm saying? But like Apostle Tahar said, man, you gotta love the pain. What's that? That word passion. It means matter of fact, can we get that real quick? In the online etymology, the word passion, because I believe it goes into pain and everything.
But I got that Colossians, the first chapter that you wanted.
Oh yeah, you can do that, Bobby.
This is Colossians chapter 1:23. If you continue in the faith, grounded and settled, and be not moved away from the hope of the gospel, which
It's like of the hope of the gospel. The good news, man.
yes, sir.
Eternity, immortality, salvation, Yahweh Shai, the kingdom. You know?
New bodies, man.
You can't lose that hope, man. Once you lose that hope, bro, it's over. It's like it, man.
That was a knockout punch. Back at it. Colossians 1:23 again. If you continue in the faith, grounded and settled, and be not moved away from the hope of the gospel, which ye have heard, and which was preached to every creature which is under heaven, whereof I, Apostle Paul, am made a minister. That means we're made to serve. That's what minister means. We're serving you. We're serving the deep dish pizzas right now, man. The good Chicago style pizzas, man. Shout out to Chicago.
Grounded, settled, unmovable. You know what I'm saying? And that's something I learned recently, man. I'm gonna keep saying it, cause hey, man, that little mental plague at the demon that was fucking with me a couple months ago.
Yeah.
I noticed like pretty much the Lord is gonna put you to a very good place. To where the only option you got either is one, fight or flight. Either you gonna run or you gonna really trust the words of the Lord. That's the only thing I could do. I was salty. I'm sitting there for hours, having to go through this mental battle, and it's like it sucks. But you gotta wait on the Lord, and you gotta really dig into the scriptures, like Apostle Tahar said. Gabar said, bury your head in the scriptures, and you just gotta. Sometimes you gotta sit there and read it for hours if you have to, until that fucking demon leaves you. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Lord, test